Why do people smoke cigarettes at all? What's the appeal? I started smoking cigarettes at 16 because my friends smoked. I quit at age 43. It took 6 tries before I succeeded. I'm now 74. If you work in any hospitality business, then it's the only acceptable way to get a break. Your colleagues will happily cover for you to pop out for a ciggy, but try saying I'm stepping out for 5 minutes of fresh air. That's what got me started and hooked. Fortunately, compared to how difficult many people seem to find it, I gave up relatively easily after 15 years. It gave me an excuse to walk away from bars and parties and stand in a smaller circle, usually with the cool kids. It also gives you a nice buzz similar to caffeine, which I also used to drink way too much of. Once you start, it's all about that chemical addiction. Socializing. Another nail in the coffin. An excuse to step away from work. Legal way to get a buzz at work. It's really common to start by bumming smokes off friends in social settings like parties. When you're drunk, then you eventually buy your own for parties. Then you start smoking them, not just at parties. It becomes a physical addiction. If you ask longtime smokers if they wish they had never started smoking, the majority of them would say yes. They're addicted to nicotine. In my generation, it was really common for adults to smoke. Started at 16 cause was cool. A sign of adulthood. Gave a buzz. Seemed to help with anxiety and was an appetite suppressant. That's why I started smoking. I kept smoking because cigarettes are addictive. Smoked off and on for 37 years. With many intermittent tries at quitting. Finally quit for good 5+ years ago using hypnosis. Feel like Tom Waits. A lot of people start to smoke because it looks cool. But it's also a way to relax. People can't quit because it's an addiction. This is going to be unpopular, but I'm answering this honestly. For me, I have always thought it looked cool as hell. Even as a young kid, I would watch movies and see people smoking. Loved it. I then worked at a nightclub not long after I turned 18, and everyone there smoked. And I thought they were cool as hell for both being bartenders and smoking. I picked it up by smoking with them after work. I've been off the darts for over a year, and life honestly isn't better or much different without them. But maybe that's because I'm young? 26. For extra content, I still think smoking looks cool as hell. I wish it wasn't so destructive. Nicotine is a lot stronger than people realize. It's very brief, short-acting high that sensitizes very quick, urging you to chase that euphoria over and over again, by chaining or upping the strength. As a heavy smoker. Addiction. PPL. Enjoy a cigarette with coffee. I don't. I dislike it. But I need it just as when you very hungry. Haven't eaten for 5 days. And now any food, even blandest, most tasteless, feels like is a supper yummy treat. If I don't have a cigarette for half day, my mind wander into, should I just pick half-smoked cig off the ground? Just as when I was living in water alone. Zero food, zero sugary drinks or anything. For around 7 days you see half-eaten burger in the trash bin. And you know you won't do it. But your mind can't help but wonder, should I pick it up and eat it? Just like if you're really thirsty. To the point when you can see clear puddle of water in a pavement and you feel sort of urge to drink from there? Granted, no cigarettes for a day or two. It doesn't go to that level. Just I get all jumpy and feel uneasy. But having no cigarette for couple of days really puts me on the test. Should I pick that discarded half-smoked cigarette or not? And I'm not sure. At times I feel if I didn't have my dose in 5 days or so, I may actually pick it and smoke it. Not sure. Most people I know started with it thinking it's cool and all back in late middle school. And the addiction caught on. It's a stress reliever. It begins to feel good to smoke. It's addicting. Obviously that's why people continue to after they start. There is a solidarity and comfort in stepping outside to have a smoke. It tastes good. If you like it at all, that is. Oh, where to start? It's an appetite suppressant. It's also a stimulant. So you get a head rush once you're addicted. If you go for an extended period of time without smoking, you start to get upset by small things. And you start to be aware of how slow and dragging your thoughts are. Not to mention you become increasingly aware of how annoying every single person is. And start to feel like the only thing that would make it better is a cigarette. Because what are you doing when you smoke? Is sitting in one spot, usually, and focusing on your breathing for 510 minutes at a time. So it tricks you into thinking it makes you feel better. It's an addiction. In my social group we were young teens, so it started out with my friends wanting to experiment. They got a buzz, so wanted to keep smoking to keep getting that buzz. Of course the buzz was the nicotine. And the more often we smoked, the harder it was to still get that buzz, so we went from smoking before school to also after school, at lunch, then breaks, etc. I felt so sick after my first cigarette I thought I'd never become addicted. But that's the trap. You don't think you'll get addicted until you are. I hated smoking but still smoked 20-30 per day for around a decade. Because it looks cool, then you get hooked. I started as a kid. Peer pressure and all that jazz. Now my 12-year-old is getting peer pressure to vape. I don't think she's tried it. But I can't be so sure. She hangs out with a rough crowd at school according to her teachers. She's a great kid at home though. So I hope not. I mean, she did tell me the girl was trying to get her to try the vape. So I don't think she has. My father was a bad role model. Nicotine has a calming effect, is why I started. It's relaxing. It had many good reasons, from helping focus, weight loss, better short-term memory, helps ADHD, improves reaction time and physical performance in athletes. There are more reasons, but it's not all bad other than addiction. Nicotine itself is not that harmful. It's the chemicals they put in cigarettes that's the main problem.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.